Hello, I hope everyone is well. The Building Problem Solving team at Dakota Meadows wanted to run through how to use a few of the resources that we're developing for our RTI efforts. This screencast is to go over how to access the information about the check-in, check-out program, which is a Tier 2 behavior intervention that will be available to Trails to use with students. It is but one of the Tier 2 interventions that we could use. But it is the first one that we have that is building-wide and building supported. If you start on the Moodle site and you scroll down to Behavior Resources under RTI and you click down here the DMMS CICO, that's check-in, check-out, overview flowchart, it will open up a flowchart which gives you a description, very rough, of the process for check-in, check-out. Basically starts at the beginning where the team has exhausted its efforts at the Tier 1 level, meaning individual teachers have tried things like pre-teaching, modeling, pre-correction of behaviors, side conversations, good core instruction of behavior in their classroom, and things are proving ineffective. One of the best ways to look to see in terms of who's proving ineffective for those interventions at Tier 1 is to look at the results from your minor forms, the spreadsheet that you have access to. Once the team decides that this is probably a good student for the check-in, check-out program, one of the first things they might want to do is look at what exactly is the check-in, check-out program. This is an overview of the behavior education program, which is also called a check-in, check-out system, that's on the district RTI website. It has some references to some specific programs, so it isn't necessarily applicable to Dakota Meadows, but it gives a good general overview of check-in, check-out. Once the team decides that it's a good match, then they would start the process by filling out a daily progress report for the student or completing one. And the way you do this is you open this link, you'll have to go up here under File and you'll have to make a copy. Once you make a copy, it'll ask you right here to enter the new name, and so you could name it for the student and your trail, and then click OK. You will then, whoever makes that copy will then become the owner of that document. This is the original document, so I'm not going to make a copy of it, but on here what you'll do, there are two spots for two different goals. You can find these goals very easily by looking at your minor forms to see what the common area of concern is, or to dialogue as a trail. You pick the goal, you pick the number rating system that's most appropriate. In this case, following directions, there's a scale in terms of no, pretty good, and great. For this one, it's stay in class, it's either 0 or 2 because either you're in class or not. You can pick one goal or two goals. Then you have the numbering system there. You go ahead and enter the student's schedule, what classes he has and when he or she has in the lunch hour. Total up the points, and then you're going to look at the check-in, check-out supervisor Stephanie. She will help set the goal and then record daily how that student does. Down here, you'd give it a little more of a description of what the goals are. There's a spot for student signature daily and then parent signature daily as well. Stephanie will manage that. What you'll have to do after you get this completed, and once the student's in the check-in, check-out program, is they will bring this to you at the end of every class. You as a teacher will give them a rating, and then you'll also initial it. This is an opportunity, the way the check-in, check-out program is structured, to provide the student with good kind of reinforcement, good positive feedback about how they did that day. It's really, we try to avoid with the check-in, check-out program having it be an opportunity to pile on in terms of don't do that again type of stuff. The homeroom teacher would then contact the parents to give them an overview of the check-in, check-out program and to let them know that the check-in, check-out facilitator will contact them via mail with a form to let them know more details. The check-in, check-out facilitator, after they receive that daily progress report from you, which is basically your way to refer, will then manage the day-to-day functioning of the program. Like I mentioned before, you'll commit to completing those daily progress report forms at the end of each class. You would also designate on this form for our RTI process the student, Tier 2 for the check-in, check-out. Setting of the intervention is with Stephanie, and then also in classrooms. And then as a trail, you'd write a SMART goal. So, for instance, if the student is at X number of minors for that behavior that you're targeting, you would want them to get to the Y number of minors by a certain amount of time. And you would set a time then that you would review that. When the progress review date that you set as a trail, say 6 weeks out, that you want to review how well this intervention is working, you would let Stephanie know that, and then she will give you a progress update. She'll give you a graph of their daily percentages. Okay, that's all for the check-in, check-out program. Hope this is helpful.